Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Friday the 8th of July 2022. So Bitcoin, Big Tech and Black Gold bid as hawkish Fed speak batters bonds. It says here straining Fed credibility, more like stretching the truth a bit here. And also stocks surge and 10-year yields reclaims 3% ahead of the NFP numbers. That's exactly what we're looking for today. Waller in favour of a 50 basis point hike in September, 75 basis hike in July. Bullard thinks 75 basis July hike would make a lot of sense. Atlanta Fed GDP now model revised higher, mixed US data apparently. So what we're looking at here then is let's have a look. Because Bullard spoke yesterday. Yeah, so 75 basis he thinks would be good in July. We'll have to see, won't we, whether Powell does that or not. Urgent buys, it's a bit of a short squeeze going on, or short covering mania at the moment. JP Morgan have said that they're seeing more buyers than sellers, so that means they'll batter it today, won't they, just to pull the weak buyers in. June payrolls preview, big data hints at a huge negative surprise. Let's have a look at the numbers. Today we're looking at 260. That's 130 less than the previous. So if this comes out, what we're saying is that the market wants not too hot, not too cold to keep this bid. That means keep the market up at the moment. Strong enough to say the world isn't going into recession. Not too strong to send the US 10 years back to 325 on the day, and not too cold to highlight US data deteriorating while inflation will stay high. Inflation will still stay high no matter what the numbers are. So normally, outside of where we are currently, when we, for the last 15 years, they were looking for positive numbers in the NonFarm payroll. They wanted these to show an increase that was bullish. Now it's not so good because it's showing that the economy is still growing, and they're trying to temper the heat and get inflation down. So they want a negative number, but they don't want a too negative number, because then they won't be able to raise rates as much as they think, but yet food inflation, etc., continues to rise. So the trap between a rock and a hard place would certainly be interesting at 130, and I suspect the markets will be fairly quiet this morning as it waits for these numbers at 130. Also, tentative economic forecast. They've been doing this all week and it's still not been released. Lagarde is speaking at 5-1. And then we get into the unemployment numbers from the US. Gold-silver ratio holding was down on Wednesday. Thursday started to move up, and Friday has also started to see the difference between the two moving higher as well. In the Dow for yesterday, market moving higher, which you can see there. Heading towards that 62% retracement, taking out the previous day's high, but a weakness overnight, anticipating the next move from the NFP numbers. And like I say, it's more of a whistle-stop tour today because, we saw the move to the upside yesterday. We drew all of the fibs in and the market went in this direction. Overnight already you can see the 30-minute is sitting sideways. We'll need to stay above the DP and the 50-bar moving average in the 30-minute chart. In the German DAX, also moving to the upside, trading up to the 78% during yesterday, looking stronger overnight than the Dow at the moment as well. And interestingly enough, yesterday the Dow had a bit of a sharp move down and the DAX held, which is also interesting considering that Johnson also resigned as well. In the 30-minute chart of the DAX, you will see we came off the 200 MA in the morning, and also the high managed to stay above this. As you can see there, as I mentioned in yesterday morning's market alert, the high is very important if you want to keep prices moving to the upside, and they managed to do this with prices moving up 100, 150, about 170 points for yesterday. Overnight, bit of a shakeout there, back to the 50 EMA, but the market still sideways to higher and still looking bullish as if it wants to take out the high. Got that rising lows at the moment, and we're not overbought at all at this time. 5-minute chart yesterday shows a bit of a choppy picture. You can see they're kicking off with the futures, the market moving higher and then pulling back and then moving back up again, and then a shakeout to start, and that was the low for the day, and the market then just made its way up, oscillating between overbought and oversold, which you can see there at the fib retracements and also pivots and everything else that forms part of the repeatable pattern. This is the US, as you can see there, and then the US pullback. So did the DAX. We've got an 89% retracement, oversold, and then the market moving back up on the overnight with the Dow. There's the shakeout that you saw in the 30-minute chart in a bit more detail. Oversold. Market is now moving back. So it needs to close above the 200 MA in the 5-minute chart, and also the 50 EMA as well, offering a bit of resistance there at the moment. Also currently oversold as well, waiting for the 7 a.m. kickoff for this market. And the week so far in the German DAX, we're looking at 532 profit. We've had 58 to 42. Profit factor of 1.75. Been a bit of a choppy week, and I've been doing other things as well. And well, the weather is good outside, some building projects. But overall, from September, the equity curve continues to move to the upside. Could do with another spike to the upside. See if we can get that today, just to move things, keep things moving to the upside. There's still 2.34 profit factor, which is great. Still in that 54 46 sort of area, give or take, and profits still well above 20,000 now as well. So let's get back to the markets, have a look at the S&P, and in the S&P also you can see moving up to the 89%, 78, 89% retracement. Also looking a bit weak on the overnight there as well. You can see that bit of a shakeout there, but yesterday was just a one-way bet on the S&P to the upside, as we say, drew in yesterday morning, anticipating today's NFP numbers. The FTSE managing an update despite the fact that Boris resigned. I think it was already factored into the market. Normally, if it had come out of the blue, we'd have seen the market sell off, but there was no great shakes. It had been on the cards, hadn't it, for goodness knows how long, probably since the day he was actually elected. But anyway, he went yesterday, and it will remain there until October, so I very much doubt he'll be able to stay till then, but who knows. 30-minute charts. Market moving to the upside again. You've got a shakeout overnight, oversold there again. Need to get back above the DP in the FTSE, no matter what the time frame, because that's relevant to all. So yeah, just sideways to higher. Like I say, don't expect a lot this morning with the markets, because they will be waiting for those NFP numbers, and they're very important ones today. In the currencies, the yen moving back down after the dollar started to move up overnight, but yesterday moving up quite nicely. Just have a quick look, draw these in. You can see we traded up to 62%. We tried to get to the 78 overnight, but so far the market coming back. And in the 30-minute chart yesterday, just move this over a bit. You'll see there that we moved to the upside, we pulled back, oversold. It's a nice retracement there, and there's another one inside of there as well before the market moved to the upside as the US dollar moved up, and overnight the US dollar is anticipating moving higher with the NFP numbers also back below the DP at the moment, but finding a bit of support there as we've become oversold with some demand there. Need to get back above the DP and the 250 EMA there as well. And finally in the metals, well, if the numbers come out a lot cooler than expected, then silver's going to get crushed, and is gold also. It'll be interesting because it'll probably go down initially and then move back up, and then the dollar of course will come down as well. Which they can do. Sometimes they get out of alignment, which they have done this week on a couple of occasions. But if the numbers are greater than expected, then you can expect the silver market to move to the upside because they haven't dealt with the inflation issue. So we're sideways, for obvious reasons, as I've already mentioned, and there you can see yesterday very much sideways until the dollar started to move higher once more, and then managed a bit of a bounce overnight, but taking out the DP, we've got the low there. You can see the market trying to stay off this low of $19.08, $19 an ounce for silver, 60% cheaper than $19.79. And gold also sideways and quiet yesterday, waiting for today's numbers. You see that in the 30 minutes, and you can see it's also a bit stronger. It didn't take out yesterday's low, or hasn't traded down to this yet like silver, which is why you see the gold-silver ratio moving to the upside. Dollar finding some strength overnight. I suspect that we're going to see this high taken out today at 107.03. So watch this area when they release the numbers. And crude oil moving back sharply yesterday. As I said before, they'll want to keep this above the $100 per barrel level, and they certainly have, moving up sharply yesterday. And that's it for this one. Let's see what happens with regards to the markets when they release the NFP numbers at 1:30. It will be interesting to say the least. Okay, that's it for this one. Have a great weekend, and see you in the next one.